we know that every HR department in every company, at least in the US, potentially around the world, are under-resourced for the tasks, as well as for the tasks that they have to execute on a daily basis to bring to fruition the strategies that they are tasked with deploying across the organization. No HR department has the resources to manage compensation, employee relations, sticky situation resolution, handle payroll, do benefits, open enrollment, all while doing things like time and attendance and performance management and leadership development and diversity, equity, and inclusion and culture and engagement. And the list goes on and on and on. I honestly never had a good experience, with maybe one or two exceptions, with my HR counterparts. I just didn't. They were just, they were the department of no, you can't do something, right? They were not there to be partners or help me drive a business result. They were there to, I don't know, maintain compliance or whatever. So you're looking at a guy that started an HR company almost fundamentally because they don't like HR, right? I never had a good experience with HR, but I know HR is really, really important. I know that without people, you can't have a business, right? And HR is the department, is the portion of the organization that is responsible for the care and feeding of employees, of the people who are actually going to drive the business result. So why C-suite leaders don't invest in HR as much as they need to? I mean, it makes sense, right? If I hire 5 salespeople, I know that I'm going to get this many sales, right? Sure, I may have some more turnover, but if I do, I'll just hire more salespeople or operations people, right? But anyway, so the trick behind HR is the HR department, the role of the HR department is to handle the care and feeding of people so that you reduce turnover and increase employee engagement, and so that you get a better result out of your most important business asset, your humans. Business leaders today, or in the past few years, have been pounding the drum on technology to solve business problems. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? But I don't know that an AI, I just had this conversation this morning. You can do all the work to build all the artificial intelligence that you want, machine learning that you want, but you're not going to be able to build an AI to create emotional intelligence, right? Like, I don't know how you build EI, right? And leadership is all about EI. It's all about your emotional IQ. It's all your emotional quotient, like that. That is what builds and grows a company forward. And so while business leaders are working on, pushing ones and zeros to make, I don't know, do whatever is solve whatever problem is they're trying to solve, they are missing the human element and the human component, right? So in my opinion. And so that is why that is our kind of our value proposition is, do not forget about the human element. You've deployed all these technologies, and this happens all the time too, frankly. Business leaders deploy technology, they don't even know how to use it, right? And end up, they end up leveraging 10% of what they bought. And the fact of the matter is, what they bought, they made a decision to buy technology when they already had it, with a solution that they already had in-house and didn't know it. So one thing that you said that bothered me was that, the profit generating arm. Everyone's a profit generating machine in a company, right? If the sales rep does a good job and they bring in a deal, they brought in a deal, right? Chris, if you do a good job, you're going to keep that client, right? And I will tell you something, it is a lot more valuable to a company to keep a customer than it is to gain a customer, right? It is a lot cheaper and better for the organization. It's a lot cheaper to keep customers than it is to acquire new ones, right? So that's first and foremost. So there's like a little imposter syndrome that goes on there. And so I think that literally comes from the top down, right? That is an organizational, cultural challenge that can be met. We were literally just talking just this past weekend about potential discrimination between the in-person and the remote, and frankly, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated, right? And I mean, it's almost like the smoking and the non-smoking, right? Like there's that, so we've been doing a lot of organization. We've been doing a lot of research on a lot of talking, a lot of speaking on that. I think I even did a webinar on it a few months back. In any event, again, it all comes down to culture, right? So I don't want to put it on the employee. It should not be I'll say this. It shouldn't be the employee's responsibility to make sure that they show up well in the eyes of the employer, right? So he values me just as much as he values she, because she's in the office and I'm at home, right? Like it should not be the employee's responsibility to do that. It's got to be the employer's responsibility. And the employer has got to understand the cognitive biases that they have, and so which leads to organizational culture, right? So, or really kind of creates the organizational culture. So every company that's dealing with a work from home or a hybridized work environment, or that's transitioning into or has transitioned to, there you can see this on CNBC. The older, more buttoned up, staid organizations are requiring, I want everybody back to the office, right? And you see on TikTok, I saw a good TikTok today. You don't have TikTok, you don't get it. But there's a good TikTok today where a woman's like, I've been working from home for 18 months and the song's in the background, like, not me, or something like that. People don't want it. People, they're more efficient, right? They're more effective at home, right? So the organization has got to understand, the C-suite leader has got to get it in their head that the way we used to work is over. It's just not that way anymore, right? And I know, Mr. 75-year-old suit and tie guy, I know you spent a lot of money on that building with your name on it, right? But you're not paying me to, like, I have to buy lunch and I have to put up with what's her name at the water cooler, and and I got to pay for my own gas to get there. I can do my job just as well at home and get back 2 hours of my life every day from commuting, right? So a lot of it has to do with, first of all, it's going to come in time, right? That generation is going to age out, right? Eventually. We know that this is the way that it is. But what organizations have to do is they've got to deploy, they've actually have to deploy procedures, process, protocols to ensure that the work from home employees are treated in the same way as the work from office employees. If they don't, right, they're going to put themselves at the bad end of a litigious situation, right? I did my job. She and I have the same job. She got a promotion, or she got a raise that was higher than my raise. And our performance reviews are exactly the same. It must be because you're discriminating against me because I'm remote, right? So that's number one. Number two, and this is good. People have choices now, right? You don't have to work at that company anymore, right? You can get, you've seen the Great Resignation, right? So if you feel that you're being discriminated against because you choose to be work from home or hybrid, leave, get another job. There's plenty of them out there,